Peace, peace, family. George making at you again, man. I'm here in the gym, chilling with my African homie. I told you I got a lot of African homies, man. I grew up in Southwest Philly, man. I want to talk to my homie from Liberia, man. First, tell me your name, man. Where you from?
Will.
Will from Liberia.
Okay,
So let me ask you a question, Will. Why is it so easy for Liberians to assimilate into African American culture when y'all come in?
Man, it's
Talk
for me.
up,
It's simple. If you notice Liberia, the first thing you see when it comes to its representation, countries is flags.
Right.
All right, our flag is red, white, and blue.
Look at that. Talk to the people, man.
Our flag is
He's
red,
shy.
white, and
He's
blue
shy.
with one star.
Talk up so you
that's
can hear
a
you.
representation, a direct connection to America.
Right.
The red, white, and blue.
So when y'all in Liberia though, and y'all seeing us, are y'all emulating the things that we're doing here too?
Oh man, I think that's the same for any third world nation outside of America. 'Cause
Right.
That's what they do. One thing America do is it's able to broadcast itself to the world.
Well, let me ask you, but what makes Liberians, so when they come to, one thing I noticed, especially being in Philadelphia, when Liberians come to Philly, you see Liberian girls, they assimilate with African American boys. Liberian guys, they'll have an African American girlfriend. Here in Philadelphia, like we got a whole African section of Southwest Philly.
Yes.
And the Liberians and Ghanaians, they come and just fall right in line. Like they do everything that we do. Why is that though? Because a lot of other Africans don't.
We grew up imitating and emulating what we see from America.
Right.
So when you come here, it's like, okay, this is what I've been doing.
Right.
On I guess you can say a poor scale, a smaller scale.
Y'all were watching us doing what we was doing.
And then, so when you come here, you see what you've been doing your whole life, and you
Right.
just fall right in line.
So in Liberia, we always had these questions where people say, and African Americans are the prodigal sons, like they got to return to Africa. If the Africans was to return to Liberia, say if 300,000 African Americans return to Liberia, what would happen from your perspective?
From my perspective, it depends on how they're returning and how they're received.
Well, explain to them the ones that was brought back when they established Monrovia as opposed to today.
Oh, back then the ones that went back with the mentality that they're better, they're different. Okay, they're not the same as the people that
They had the mentality.
Yes, they went back to meet, and I guess they believe savages like
Right.
they were taught.
Okay.
You know, so
So
They-
basically, what you're saying to the people is, when they established Monrovia, the Africans that they put on a ship and sent back was a lot of them was mixed race, mixed with the,
Yes.
and they had the European
The
agenda.
mentality, yes.
And so what was like the towns called they had there if an indigenous person was caught a certain period of time?
No. Basically, Monrovia was established, okay, and for the free slave
Right.
that went over.
Right.
So the native
Look at
people,
that. He's not used to the camera, y'all. He's not used to the camera.
But the natives basically was not allowed when it's sundown. They were not allowed.
So they had sundown towns,
Yeah.
even in Africa, but it was other black Africans that would kill the other Africans if they caught them.
Yeah, yeah.
Because we had sundown towns here in the
Yeah,
South,
yeah.
but if we got caught in sundown town, you get killed by white clan member or something.
Yeah.
So now they sent a group of blacks there. They didn't send the revolutionary blacks there.
No, definitely not. In America, they knew what they was doing. I mean, the slave that they sent back there was basically to establish a connection,
Okay.
so that they can.
So explain to us the war before we come up to the question I had just asked about African Americans returning.
Mm-hmm.
Explain the war in Liberia, like the way you explained to me about the president that was the first president that was killed that wasn't going for the bullshit. He wanted to
Basically,
smoke.
I mean, it's no more now as far as what America does when it comes to the control of a country.
Right.
They control the presidency, and if you don't go along with our agenda, we can easily.
So who was the
replace you.
president that they killed first? The one you told me.
Joe? No.
Not Charles. Not the one Charles Tyler
okay.
killed.
In mine, growing up, it was Tubman who started basically our development.
Right. And he wasn't going along with the European structure.
Not him, but Talbot. Talbot, basically, when he came into power and was doing what he was doing.
Right.
From my understanding, my learning, they did not like All right, they did not like the way he was basically
The Europeans.
Europeans, yeah, and so he was basically
They
taken out.
They whacked him.
He was basically taken out, and Samuel Doe was put in power.
Samuel Doe was put in power.
Yeah.
So how did Charles Tyler end up there?
It's the same thing, man. It's like you're not going along with our agenda. Okay, we have someone who can replace you.
So they end up having a war. So that's what like the
Yeah,
war.
the 1990 war, basically war came about 89 with Charles Taylor, Prince Johnson, and all those rebel
So
factions.
how devastating was that war?
Oh my God, it's very devastating. You can see it today. You spoke of Southwest. Most of us Liberians, when we come, Southwest is
Battleground.
Yeah, it's one of the first stops.
What he's saying is in Southwest Philly is a major African hub, African stop now. And a lot of the Liberians and Ghanaians, when they touch down in Southwest, if you go to Southwest, you're going to see Ghanaian, African American, and Liberians all together in crews. And this is the sad part about it is they're fighting block to block to block, killing each other. So you got African Americans with Africans killing other African Americans and other Africans.
But that's the same.
In Southwest Philadelphia, it's happening like that.
Even if you remove Liberian, even if you remove Africans out of it,
It's just black people
that's the
killing each other.
mindset. Yeah, that's the mindset in the U.S. You have sets within blocks of each other.
Right.
That
So they came here and it's still created.
That
on the
mentality,
same,
like you
the
said,
mentality is created
you
on the
see it-
same
you
level.
See it when they come, they just jump into it.
So
So
what? Us African Americans returning back to Liberia, what do you think will happen? On a large scale, say 200,000 of us return back.
on a large scale, I feel, for me, I think that's a great thing. I think that's going to be a learning experience for both sides.
Right.
And you guys will offer the native what is needed as far as support, financial, or just history, you know. And
That's not there.
And allowing the groups to basically build and establish what is needed for that.
Let me ask you this perspective when you as coming here
Alright.
as a Liberian. Real last question: when you see African Americans and you see how we are towards the white establishment, as opposed to how a lot of Africans are conditioned, right? As an African, when you come here, when the first thing you see how like we challenge shit,
Yeah.
but we like, man, we ain't doing that. What did you think when you first saw that?
It's broadcast. As African Americans, you guys are unruly. You
Yeah.
guys are not disciplined.
Yeah.
And that's the image.
That's the image that they say. They say that we unruly and we not
Yeah,
disciplined. Right.
But when you come here and you grow up as I have and see what's going on and see how things can be obscured and manipulated,
Yeah.
you understand, okay, why these people are this way and what's their agenda
Right.
on both sides.
Yeah, because they try to make it seem like we unruly, we assholes. Really, we rebels against the bull. But this is the thing, because for a lot of African Americans, on the ground in Liberia, is there a lot of Liberians that's just like us, but the American TV don't show it?
Oh, of course, no. Of
That's-
course, like
that's
I said,
kicking ass.
like, you will see whatever that you see here that is
Speak up
broadcast.
for 'em.
Whatever that you see here that is broadcast and it's over there. There are groups that are going to see it. They're going to pick it up. They're going to emulate it. That's going to imitate what they see, and that's human nature, you
Right.
know? And so once they come over, you have to understand in third world countries. The way America is portrayed is, okay, this is the land of milk and honey. This is where you need to be.
Till you come
so
here.
people try to do anything and everything in their
Right,
power to
right.
come to the United States, but they don't understand the full scope of
One
what's going
more
on.
question. Do you think, because we was talking off camera, and as an African American, I never been to Africa, so I don't know. But I was told by another African that we actually stick together more than Africans. I don't believe that, but you just told me that we did.
Like I said, I told you as far as tribe, because for us,
It's tribalism. Yeah.
So as tribes, it's different. But other tribes coming together, no, it's not. It's not.
But that's
where
what
it
he
needs to
probably
be.
was saying,
Yeah.
because we're kind of like forced to. Where in Africa it's tribalism.
Yeah.
And so is that why they're saying that when we return, they're looking at us as us in the West, not just the African Americans, but us in the West. Us returning, we could turn Africa upside down when we return. Is that what it is?
Yeah, I think a little bit of that. Because you're coming with knowledge, you're coming with resource that's greatly needed, and you are coming with a new perspective. All right. So that tends to help.
30-second. Do Africans hate us? See, because a lot of African Americans, some of them Africans, they hate us. Do Africans hate African Americans?
No, Africans do not hate African Americans, but also there's a disconnect or misunderstanding.
Okay.
Right? So when they come here with that mentality of, okay, this is what we know, this is what we've been taught. All right.
Tell them what you told me, because you told me a lot of. See, we tend to look at our slavery when they stole people from Africa and brought people here and enslaved us. But you said a lot of African Americans forget that the Africans was colonized there too. So they have a mentality that they come here with. That's basically what he's saying.
Yeah.
But tell them your name, man. We get out.
Like I said, my name is Will Gant. Born in Liberia. Live in the Philadelphia area now. Love the conversation, and more of these conversations need to continue to be had.
And we're gonna have it. We're gonna have it in the Bridging the Gap series.
That's the only way. And that's the only way the gap is gonna be bridged. These conversations and understanding, like, oh, you know what? He thinks like me. He thinks like me. He acts like me, and we are along the same wavelength. So that's the only way I feel we can unite and come together, is if we continue to have these conversations. We can agree to disagree on things, but once we're having the conversation, we're going to be moving forward.
Yeah. So I'm thank y'all for tuning in to watch the George Macon Experience. We want to definitely have more of these conversations, because I'm from Southwest Philly, and I know a lot of Africans, and one thing I know is the Liberians and people from Ghana. When you came to Philadelphia, some of them, that if they didn't even talk, you would just think that they was like a dark-skinned brother from up the block, because they live around everybody else. A lot of other Africans sometimes have trouble assimilating, but the people from Ghana and Liberia, and that's why I had to talk to brothers. I was always want to know, like, damn, Liberians are just come in and come sit right down next to him, like, what's up? You be like, damn, like, because a lot of other Africans don't do that. A lot of Africans don't do that, but the Liberians and the Ghanaians do. So make sure you guys watching out for more conversations like this, because I'm gonna actually bring a lot of this stuff to the forefront, because I'm friends with a lot of Africans. So I'm gonna be doing a series talking to a lot of African brothers and sisters from the west coast of Africa. And that's where a lot of our ancestry come from. So remember, I love y'all. Till the next time. Peace.